You are about to discover the forbidden curse no one has survived, Aphrodite's secret. Her hanging garden opens before you. Golden petals fall from above like divine blessings. Beautiful, soft, until you notice the hidden thorns, dripping something red that isn't dew. Among the flowers, statues, too beautiful to be the work of a sculptor. Each face bears terror frozen in the final instant. Gods and mortals, all captured by the same sentence. Looking at Aphrodite was the last act before turning to stone. But the curse isn't just revenge. Aphrodite doesn't imprison to kill. She holds something that Olympus would never reveal. Something that transforms the gift of beauty into mythology's most lethal weapon. Would you accept her invitation, or would you run away before her next smile was the end of you? Before continuing, please leave a comment below which country and city you're watching from and what time it is there now. Let's see how far Aphrodite's curse has reached.
The hanging garden seems to breathe. Impossible flowers, red as fire, blue as nocturnal seas, golden as the sun itself. The scent is so intense that you feel intoxicated, as if each breath steals part of your will. The statues are scattered throughout the open hall, warriors in attack stance, goddesses with arms raised, mortals kneeling as if begging for forgiveness. None of them won, none escaped. The marble holds the last emotion of each face: fear, desire, regret. In the center, Aphrodite stands motionless, as if she were the only living being among the dead. Her eyes roam the space calmly, and there's no rush in her gestures. She doesn't need to rush. The garden already does the work for her. Hermes appears beside him, his voice low, his smile crooked. Have you ever seen a more beautiful cemetery than this? He looks at a statue of a petrified warrior and lets out a dry laugh. I think even love prefers harsh memories. You walk deeper, but something stops you. One of the statues standing in the shadow of the flowers bears a mark. On her arm, the same curve, the same scar. It's yours. The blood drains from your face. You're staring at yourself, frozen in stone. How is this possible?
The air thickens. The flowers tilt their petals as if the garden itself were bending. Aphrodite looks up at you, and the silence that follows is heavier than any scream. Her voice is sweet, a melody that could calm armies, but every word hides venom. How many came here thinking they could defy me? How many goddesses believed they could be more beautiful, more desired, more remembered? She walks among the statues as if strolling through a trophy room. All of them now decorate my garden. She stops before a petrified female figure, her face frozen in terror. Aphrodite caresses the statue with cruel delicacy. This was my rival at an ancient feast. She tried to outshine me for one night. Now she shines forever, made of stone. Hermes lets out a low, amused whistle. If this is revenge, at least she has good taste in decoration. Aphrodite doesn't smile. Her eyes return to you. Don't think that the curse chooses, it only fulfills destiny. Beauty is a gift, but it is also a sentence. Whoever dares to look too long never forgets, neither alive nor dead. Your heart races. If each statue was a rival, a goddess, a mortal who dared to challenge, What happens to you now that you're inside this forbidden garden? And the question that arises is inevitable. If beauty can be used as a weapon, who could survive when it turns against you?
The garden curves around her, as if each petal breathes to the rhythm of her voice. Aphrodite places her hand on a golden flower that bleeds slowly and continues, too soft for the gravity of what it reveals. They all tell the same story, that I was born from the sea foam, beautiful and perfect, carried by the waves to enchant the world. She closes her eyes, her smile growing almost cruel, but what they never tell you is what was in that foam. It wasn't just sea, it was blood, the blood of Uranus, ripped by Kronos himself. From the pain of a mutilated god, beauty blossomed, and with it, something that could not be controlled. Hermes snaps his fingers, tilting his head as if it were a joke. So even the goddess of love was born from a family feud? That explains a lot. Aphrodite opens her eyes, and this time, they shine like liquid night. The blood called Nyx, the primordial night. She looked at me and laughed. She said no gift comes without a price. What they gave me is beauty she wrapped in a curse. Whoever dares desire me too much will not live to tell the tale. The wind freezes, as if the garden itself fears words. Aphrodite passes between the statues, caressing their petrified faces. I am not just what everyone loves. I am what everyone fears to admit, because beauty is adoration and condemnation. And the question sticks in your throat. What if Aphrodite's power isn't just seduction, but inevitable damnation for anyone who dares get too close?
The silence doesn't last. A firm voice cuts the air like a blade. Hera, the queen of Olympus, appears between the golden columns, her hard gaze fixed on Aphrodite. How many goddesses have you reduced to ornament? How many mortals have you destroyed, all in the name of a power you shouldn't even possess? This isn't love, it's a crime. The flowers shrink, the garden trembles. Aphrodite simply smiles, without denying it, as if every accusation were a compliment. Crime or fear? Perhaps it's hard to accept that beauty can be more deadly than any bolt of Zeus's lightning. Before Hera can respond, Athena steps forward, spear raised. Olympus doesn't need worship, it needs order. And today, Aphrodite, even its perfection will shatter. The garden responds with violence. Petals transform into sharp blades, falling in a piercing rain. The perfume becomes suffocating, so strong that the gods must cover their faces. Each breath is like poison burning the throat. Ares, laughing amid the chaos, appears beside Aphrodite, sword in hand. If the world needs war to defend it, so be it, for I will always fight for it. The ground cracks beneath his footsteps, and the roots of the flowers twist like serpents, entangling statues and columns. Hermes watches from atop a cracked statue, swinging his legs as if watching a spectacle. Finally, a family feud worthy of Olympus. The garden ceases to be a sanctuary. It becomes a battlefield. Hera versus Ares, Athena versus Aphrodite, each blow transforming beauty into destruction. Statues tumble, sharp petals tear through the air like arrows. In the midst of chaos, you feel the weight of choice. Wisdom raises its spear against love. War protects forbidden beauty. Would you fight alongside the wisdom that seeks to destroy, or the love that prefers to turn everything into war?
The garden explodes into chaos. The flowers burst open, revealing black thorns dripping with ancient blood. The air becomes too heavy to breathe, every scent transformed into poison. The statues crack from the impact of the energy vibrating from Aphrodite's body. She walks slowly, each step drawing involuntary gasps even from the gods. Athena digs her heels into the ground, raising her shield against the goddess's gaze, but the metal vibrates as if it might melt beneath her gaze. Hera takes a step back, something she rarely does. Even the throne of the Queen of Olympus seems fragile in the face of her presence. Aphrodite lifts her face, her eyes shine like two poisoned moons. You call it a curse, I call it truth. Beauty is not a choice, it is power, and power always demands a price. Ares advances, striking the ground with his sword, screaming like a bewitched beast. But he doesn't fight Aphrodite, he fights for her. His fury now belongs to the goddess. Athena tries to counterattack, spear raised, but hesitates. Every glance at Aphrodite burns her insides, as if her own mind is being turned to stone. Hermes, sitting on a broken column, chuckles softly. Incredible. Some fight for glory, others for survival, and here everyone falls at the mere sight of a glance. Aphrodite opens her arms, light and darkness swirling around her. Anyone who dares to face her feels their soul shatter. Those who close their eyes are left blind to the fight. You understand, then, the inevitable dilemma. To resist, you must face her. But to look at Aphrodite is to sign your own sentence. And the question echoes in your mind like a final blow. Is it worth surviving if, to do so, you have to become a statue?
And suddenly, everything ceases. The poison in the air vanishes. The flowers fall silently. And even Ares falls to his knees as if awakened from a trance. Athena breathes heavily, her shield still raised, but now dull. Hera closes her eyes, relieved by a moment of respite. Aphrodite, however, remains intact. The smile on her lips is slight, almost ironic, as if nothing had happened. The statues, broken by the shock, remain motionless. The garden is utterly silent. Then, a metallic sound echoes. Footsteps. A clink that doesn't belong to weapons, but to something small and precious. From the shadows, Eris emerges. The goddess of discord walks slowly, twirling a golden object in her hands. The pommel. Its surface reflects every face in the garden, distorted and cruel. Engraved upon it, the eternal invitation, to the fairest. She smiles, tilting her head. Curious, so much destruction for a secret. And now, what happens when discord hands over the crown? Aphrodite doesn't answer. She just stares at the apple, her eyes shining as if she already knows her fate. Hera and Athena turn to Eris with fury. Ares raises his sword again, ready to fight. Hermes sighs, amused. Oh, great. If beauty almost killed us, imagine beauty crowned by discord. The garden sighs silently, but everyone knows this isn't the end. It's the harbinger of something much greater. And the question that rises in the air is inevitable. If beauty already destroys, what happens when discord crowns it? The snitch spins slowly in Eris's hands, reflecting every face on Olympus like a cruel mirror. The golden glow cuts through the gloom of the garden, and you feel the weight of something much greater than mere vanity. This isn't just a dispute. It's the beginning of a war. Hera steps forward, her voice thick with authority. Choose. Olympus is sustained only by order, and order is mine. If discord dares to defy me, it will be crushed. Her eyes lock with you, as if your decision were a sentence. Athena raises her spear. Wisdom needs no golden crown, but if this apple falls into the wrong hands, it won't just be Olympus that burns, it will be the entire world. Think with your mind, not with your desires. Aphrodite smiles, her calm more dangerous than any threat. And who decides what is wrong?
Look around you. Even the strongest goddesses are on the ground, and I remain standing. If beauty is a curse, then let it rain. After all, everyone falls before it, sooner or later. Eris just watches, the pommel twirling between her fingers as if eternity depended on a whim. Hermes crosses his arms, chuckling softly. Excellent! Nothing like a family feud to decide the fate of the cosmos, and of course, to blame you. The silence becomes unbearable. 3 goddesses, 3 destinies, all awaiting your word. You realize that it doesn't matter which choice you make, each will lead the war in a different direction. But refusing? Perhaps that would be even worse. Would you hand over power to the goddess of forbidden beauty, trust Hera's cold command, or follow Athena's ruthless wisdom? And the final question cuts through your mind like a blade. Would you stand with the father of the gods, or the daughter who dared to defy him?
The pommel slips from Eris's grasp and hits the ground with a sound that echoes like thunder. The entire garden trembles, the columns shatter, the flowers burn in golden flames, and the ground cracks beneath your feet. You try to steady yourself, but the earth crumbles, swallowing everything in an abyss of light and shadow. You plummet. The wind rips the air from your lungs, and broken statues fall beside you like dead soldiers. In the void, visions appear, too swift to ignore. Colossal ships cutting through the sea, mortal heroes raising swords on corpse-strewn beaches. Troy, the golden city, surrounded by high walls, but already consumed by fire. Amidst the flames, you see Eris and Athena, face to face. He, furious, striking with blind violence. She, calculating every move, dodging with deadly precision. And behind them, Aphrodite smiling, the golden apple gleaming in her hands. Hera's voice echoes through the void. This war is not theirs, it is yours. Every choice you make, every side you take, will be charged here. Hermes appears for a moment, laughing, floating beside him as he falls. Congratulations, you've managed to turn a family feud into a war that will last for centuries. You fall deeper, and the landscape changes. Heroes dragged by shadows, red seas of blood, gods choosing sides like pieces on a chessboard. The snitch wasn't just a seed of discord, it was a sentence of war. A voice, older than the gods, echoes in her mind. Aphrodite's curse does not end with her, but with all who fight for her. The impact is inevitable. You brace yourself for rock bottom, but you realize there is no bottom, only the next battlefield.
You awaken with your body embedded in the hot sand. The sound of the sea is drowned out by the clash of swords and the screams that tear across the horizon. Troy burns before you. Ships burn in the harbor, and smoke covers the sky like a new firmament of ash. Mortal heroes race in all directions. Some advance like hurricanes, others fall like leaves. And among them, gods. Athena leads armies with cruel precision. Ares grows drunk on blood, striking relentlessly. Aphrodite walks between them, the golden apple in her hand, smiling as if each death were a new victory. You try to rise, but realize you can't escape. What began in the garden now consumes the entire world. Love has turned to war, and war knows no end. Then, Aphrodite's voice echoes in his mind. It's not a whisper, it's a sentence. Love is war. And the war is just beginning. The ground trembles beneath your feet. The gods choose sides, mortals march toward destruction, and you, who have traversed the curse, understand that this story does not end here. If no one survived her curse, imagine who will survive the war she started. Subscribe and stay with us. The next chapter picks up right where this one leaves off.